Very good evening to all my dear students. So today we will be beginning with a new lesson, and that is the last lesson. Okay, as the name suggests, जैसा कि हम इसके टाइटल में देख सकते हैं, द लास्ट लेसन इट मीन्स कि जो स्टोरी है, जो कंटेंट है हमारा, दैट इज अबाउट अ लास्ट टॉपिक that is being taught. Okay, it is about the last lecture or last topic or last concept. So the word last is important here. This shows that there is an end of something, कि किसी चीज का end हो रहा है, and a new beginning is going to be there. Fine. So that is the significance of the title, the last lesson. तो ये स्टोरी है, इट्स अ स्टोरी जिसके अंदर जो इम्पोर्टेंट एलिमेंट्स हैं, जो इम्पोर्टेंट फीलिंग्स हैं, दैट इज एज फॉलोज: लव फॉर योर कंट्री, आपकी कंट्री के लिए आपका लव; पैट्रियोटिज्म, दैट इज द मेन थीम ऑफ द स्टोरी। और वो पैट्रियोटिज्म किसके थ्रू डिस्प्ले करते हैं? वो पैट्रियोटिज्म वी आर डिस्प्लेइंग थ्रू द लव ऑफ आवर ओन लैंग्वेज। यानी कि जैसे कि हमारी नेटिव टंग, हमारी मदर टंग हिंदी है, and we are proud to be Indians, and we Hindi is our national language and we love it. Similarly, ये जो story setup है, that is set up in the France, that is being it is being set up in France, and the background is of the war when France was having a war with Prussia, जो the nations of Germany, Poland and parts of Austria, जो today Germany है. So at that time, around when the story was written, or when it was written, the France was going in war with Germany, and Germany had annexed the village in which the story is being set up. So it is being basically about love for one's own country and love for your own language and culture. That is the important elements that is being shown in the lesson. And it is written by Alphonse Daudet, and he was a French novelist, and he was short story writer. The last lesson is set in the days of the Franco-Prussian War. It is set in, as we had discussed, जो background है वो war का है. So there is a war between France and Germany, and France has lost. Okay, and a new order has come up by Germany, which states that from now onwards, French, the national language of France, would not be taught in schools. Okay, तो जैसे ही जर्मनी ने फ्रांस को अनेक्स किया, तो ये ऑर्डर पास ऑन कर दिया कि अब से स्कूल्स में फ्रेंच एज अ लैंग्वेज नहीं पढ़ाई जाएगी. इंस्टेड ऑफ फ्रेंच, व्हाट विल द स्टूडेंट्स बी टॉट? दे विल बी टॉट जर्मन. बट नाउ इट इज मैंडेटरी टॉट जर्मन. तो बेसिकली जो चैप्टर है, जो लेसन है, वो उन्हीं फीलिंग्स को एक्सप्लोर करता है कि हाउ डज इट फील when someone asks you, not even ask you, when someone forcefully tries to curb your language from your existence. आप जिस लैंग्वेज में पले बड़े हैं, ठीक है, आप जिस लैंग्वेज को बोल कर यू हैव ग्रोन अप, जब उसी लैंग्वेज को ये कहा जाता है कि यू हैव टू ड्रॉप दिस लैंग्वेज एंड यू हैव टू पुट ऑन अनदर न्यू लैंग्वेज, देन हाउ डज इट फील? So this is the story about that particular feeling, and we have two main characters. Number one is a student, Franz, the person, the boy who has written the story, and the another is the teacher, the French teacher, Hamel, जो ये सारी फीलिंग्स को अपने अंदर एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हैं राइट नाउ. ही इज अ पैशनेट फ्रेंच टीचर. उनको फ्रेंच से बहुत ज़्यादा अटैचमेंट है. ही लाइक्स फ्रेंच वेरी मच, और एज अ mark of respect towards the language, he decides to deliver the last lesson as his farewell, because now, after the coming up of Germany in their village, they have to leave the country. Now he has to leave the country, the school where he has taught for last so many years, and so he decides to give a last lecture. So he decides to give the last lecture. So he decides to give the last lecture in French only to the students. To not only students, तो खाली students ही नहीं आते हैं वो last lecture सुनने के लिए, बल्कि कि पूरा का पूरा village इकट्ठा होता है in school to listen to the last lecture, and this meeting is ended on a very emotional note. Right? So now let us look at the story, what happened in the story exactly. So as we had discussed, जो main story का character है, that is a school boy called Franz. So he's a very carefree boy. उसकी age के boys की जैसे वो बहुत carefree है, and he doesn't like to study. He bunks classes and he likes to spend more time with nature. अपने विलेज की जो ब्यूटी है उस पर वो ज़्यादा फोकस करता है एज कम्पेयर टू द स्टडीज एंड ही इज ऑलवेज बीइंग स्कोल्डेड बाय द टीचर. बट नाउ वी विल सी व्हाट हैपेंस एग्जैक्टली ऑन द लास्ट डे. लास्ट डे भी वही सब रेपिटेशन होती हैं जो डेली फ्रेंड्स के साथ होती थी, या फिर देयर इज एनी चेंज. So the story opens with Franz being late for the school, and he's running, very fast, so that he is not punished. And the teacher, the Mr. M. Havel, he has decided, he has asked the students to study participles on that day, but as usual, Franz is not prepared. So he is a bit scared also, and he is late. So that's why he is very. He believes that. Now the teacher will scold him very much. So, but exactly what happens? Let us see what happens. Fine. Then Prussia. Now he is late for the school, and he tired, and he is he's feeling this thing that he should bunk the school. The school bunk कर देता हूँ, and I should roam in the fields, or I should explore the beauty of the nature. But anyhow, he did not succumb to the temptation, and he decides to go to the स्कूल. लेकिन स्कूल में जैसे ही एंटर होता है तो स्कूल का जो एटमॉस्फेयर है दैट इज नॉट एट ऑल एग्जैक्टली लाइक द ओल्ड डेज. स्कूल का एटमॉस्फेयर कम्प्लीटली चेंज है. सो यू गेट अ क्वेश्चन ऑन दिस ऑल्सो कि व्हाट इज अनयूजुअल अबाउट द डे व्हेन द लास्ट लेसन वाज डिलीवर्ड. यू गेट अ क्वेश्चन ऑन दिस ऑल्सो. तो तब जो अनयूजुअल है वो ये है कि जो स्कूल का एटमॉस्फेयर दैट इज वेरी सीरियस एंड सॉम्बर. बहुत ज़्यादा सीरियस है एंड सॉम्बर है. एंड what is happening, there is no one to be seen outside the school. कोई भी यूजुअल हसल पसल नहीं है, कोई भी कमोशन नहीं है. जनरली क्या होता है जब आप स्कूल जाते हैं, when you go to school and when the school is off, तो तब स्कूल का जो एटमॉस्फेयर होता है बहुत ज़्यादा हसल पसल होती है, बिकॉज स्टूडेंट्स आर कमिंग एंड गोइंग, and the teacher is sitting in the class, and the students are learning their lessons, by saying everything quietly. But nothing of that sort is happening on that particular day when M. Hamel has to deliver his last lesson. Everything is unusually quiet, silent, somber and serious. तो मतलब स्कूल एक बहुत ही सीरियस फील दे रहा है. एंड फ्रांस इज वंडरिंग कि एक्चुअली में what is happening. Then he just went to his web. As soon as he entered the class, he feels that now the teacher will scold him. But rather, what happens? The teacher asks him to go and sit at his seat quietly and politely. So he was very shocked. Teacher के इस behavior पे he was very shocked. Otherwise he would have got scolded in the normal days. But now he is feeling that why is this thing happening. He noticed something odd about his teacher. Or the second way unusual क्या था? The teacher is dressed up in very extravagant clothes, very the clothes that he used to wear only on special occasions. जैसे कि स्कूल में कोई इंस्पेक्शन है या कोई प्राइज डे है, तो जो उनके बेस्ट क्लोथ्स थे, ही वॉज वियरिंग दैट. So Franz is very much surprised and he's shocked कि why the teacher is behaving in such a way. Why he is not scolding? Why is he so polite? Why he is dressed up in such kind of clothes? And now, in the later part of the story, he would get his answers. And another odd thing that happened was that all the villagers, maximum of the villagers, like village mayor and other important people, they were sitting at the last benches. Instead of students, they were also sitting. So village elders were also attending the last lesson delivered by Mr. Hamel. So we can say जो ये last lesson deliver होता है और villagers का जो आना है वो इस बात का indication है that they are paying the tribute to the teacher who is going to leave them very soon. The 40 years of dedicated service that M. Hamel has given to the village, to the school, to his country. So now he is being appreciated and everybody is sad and emotional obviously. All of them are feeling very sad and emotional because he is soon going to leave. और एक और गिल्ट है, they are all of them are also, feeling a sense of guilt. Now, what is that guilt? We will come to know. So he announced that it would be the last lesson of French for his students. So as soon as he announces this, what happens? Franz, the boy who was very carefree earlier, who didn't like to study, he suddenly felt a painful remorse. Remorse मतलब एक feeling of guilt कि why आपने वो particular काम क्यों नहीं किया. So now he is feeling very guilty कि why he has spent that time earlier time when he was given the opportunity to learn things. जब उसे opportunity मिली कि वो French को learn कर लेता, अब उसने उन सारी चीज़ों को taken for granted किया. So that is another theme which the writer wants us to focus on, taking things for granted. That we should never ever take things for granted, because later on when the situations change or circumstances change, we would not get those opportunities or those facilities again. So this is one point that the author wants to focus कि अगर हमें हमारी मदर टंग को लर्न करने की अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है, then we should not take it for granted, because later on maybe, as happens in this case, we would not be able to learn it or acquire it. So that's why now France and all the villagers are feeling sorry for this lost opportunity. Villagers also, because being as parents, they did not motivate their students. And here Mr. Hamel also, although he was a good teacher, but he realizes and he accepts his mistake कि उनकी तरफ से भी गलती हुई. How? That he used to send students for his personal work, and he would not motivate them more to learn the lessons properly. So in this case, he also accepts his mistake. So now everybody in this particular scene, including the teacher, the students, the villagers, सबको अपनी mistake realize होती है. Fine. Everybody is realizing their mistake, that why they have taken their language, their culture, their country for granted. And according to Mr. Hamel, another important point is कि जो आपका language है, आपकी mother tongue है, that is the key to get you freedom if you are enslaved. मतलब the French teacher believed कि अभी if Germans are capturing them, are conquering them, the only way to get out of their slavery is that when we know about our own language, and that is true. अगर आपकी language और culture के साथ particular bond है, okay, if you have not forgotten your cultural and literary heritage, then one day you would be able to get back your freedom, you would be able to get back your country. So everybody has come and villagers have come. They are showing their respects to M. Hamel and to the country and to their language also. So M. Hamel, he was patient. Okay, this we know. He was polite, and he also highlighted the problem of the people, the villagers. What was the problem? That they always had plenty of time, but they did not took the lessons, took the study of their language very seriously. So this happens, and in the end he distributes new copies to the students, but he's again very sad. He's feeling very sad, and now Franz is also feeling very sad, and he's feeling a bond with the teacher. He's feeling a particular bond with his teacher, because now he respects his teacher. How Mr. Hamel decided to tried so much hard to they tried so much hard to teach him the nuances of language, but then what happened? He was the one who lagged behind, like he didn't like to learn the lessons. So that thing happened, and now he is very emotional and sad. Everybody had realized their mistake, but now it is very late. The teacher has to leave the country, and he realized how difficult it must have been for his teacher to leave a place he had stayed and served in for 40 years. तो अब फ्रांस को अपने टीचर का वो पेन, वो मिजरी, वो ग्रीफ वो खुद भी एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा है, क्योंकि अब वो समझ पा रहा है कि हाउ मस्ट ही हैव बीन फीलिंग कि एकदम अचानक से he has to leave the country from where he has given his entire life. Okay. Then what happened? This is a very emotional ending to the story. Now he writes on the board, the teacher Mr. M. Hamel, he writes on the board, Vive la France means long live France. So this shows that he's a that he is a true patriot. Okay, this shows that he's a true patriot, and he is terribly feeling for his country. He is terribly feeling for his country, and he does not want to leave it, but he is being forced to. He is being forced to leave the country. तो वो जो कल्चरली भी जर्मनी इज ट्राइंग टू कॉन्कर फ्रांस. फिजिकली तो कॉन्कर कर लिया है, बट टू कंट्रोल पीपल कम्प्लीटली. इसीलिए ये डिसीजन लिया गया कि जो वहाँ के लोग हैं उनको उनकी लैंग्वेज से दूर कर दिया जाए, उनको उनके कल्चर से दूर कर दिया जाए, ताकि वो कम्प्लीटली जर्मनी के से बन जाए. तो दिस इज वेरी वेरी पेनफुल एंड टेरिबल फॉर द पीपल, including the teacher living there. And then the story ends with an emotional gesture. And what is the emotional gesture? The teacher just he is not able to say anything. Okay, he is feeling so miserable. The mental state is not good. तो ये mental state अभी सभी का है, emotional, feeling guilty and painful. ये teacher, students, friends, everybody is going through the same mental state. So you can mention this line also, that all of them are going through this terrible mental emotions, a variety of emotions जो उसमें आ रहे हैं, flurry of emotions, जिसमें कि guilt है, guilt of not learning their language when it was time, pain है, pain of leaving one's own country, not only the country but cultural and literary heritage behind, and miserable because now they cannot do anything. Now they are being forced to accept the situation. And so in the end, what does he say? He is now not able to say anything to anyone. The teacher is feeling so emotionally, vulnerable. And in the end, he just says that everybody now can leave. And as the last lecture has been delivered, the school is dismissed. So this is the significance of the title. You can also, get a question on this. Ki, What do you mean by the last lesson? Last lesson से आपका मतलब क्या है? तो तब आपने ये बताना है उसमें कि जो लास्ट लेसन है, इट मीन्स द एंडिंग ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक, एंड टॉपिक में देन यू हैव टू डिस्क्राइब व्हाट टॉपिक इज बीइंग रेफर्ड टू. तो यहाँ पर जो एंडिंग है, यहाँ पर वो एंडिंग हो रही है कल्चरल और लिटरेरी हेरिटेज पर्टिकुलर कंट्री. ठीक है, दैट दे आर नॉट बीइंग एबल टू फॉलो दैट पर्टिकुलर their own cultural legacy. मतलब every citizen and everybody is proud. We all are proud as Indians. We are proud of our heritage. ठीक है कि we have so many monuments, and Hindi, everybody is proud of Hindi. So we can feel being citizens, being responsible citizens and being citizens who love their country. We can feel the value कि किस तरीके से जो लैंग्वेज होती है वो इम्पोर्टेंट होती है. Fine. So that is the thing. This completes the summary of the lesson and the major themes. ये वैसे डिस्कस किया है हमने summary में, but now let us have a look at one by one, because you can get some questions also on this. कि what are the major themes? So the most important theme is patriotism. Patriotism, nationalism, ये सबसे ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट थीम है. और लव फॉर वंस ओन कंट्री, लव फॉर वंस लैंग्वेज, नेशनलिज्म, पेट्रियोटिज्म, डेडिकेशन टुवर्ड्स वंस ओन कंट्री, डेडिकेशन, you can also being asked to draw a character sketch of a teacher. So then there you can use these points and elaborate on your answer, that the teacher was highly dedicated towards his country. He loved France and he loved the language. In fact, at one place of the story he says also कि French is a very beautiful language. It is the most logical language in the world. तो ये शो करता है कि teacher how much he was passionate about this thing. तो you can passionate. So when you are so much passionate about one's own country and one's language, it is वो जो feeling of pain होता है वो कहीं बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता है, that you have to leave your country and you have to leave your language. Fine. So here we that is all for this session. Now we will continue with themes and some important question and answers in the next session. I hope you have liked the story, and if you like it, do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.